So to all you new CEOs, I'm Shamel Leonard, and I started the Auto Dealer Business School to do just this, to give you all the tools you need to earn as much money as you possibly can as an auto dealer, and quickly, and to be organized and in compliance and be responsible and to be free in your business. Okay, so those are my goals for you. And most of the people I work with, those are their goals as well. So I just want to say that let's get to these taxes, because yeah, they can be overwhelming. I do want to first say I'm not a tax consultant. Okay, I have to disclaim that this is not my profession. I have taken tax classes before. I certified as like a tax consultant like 15 years ago, but I didn't do it because I wanted to do taxes. I did it because I wanted to understand how taxes were done, because I had been in business and did not know anything about taxes, and I didn't want to be ignorant to that. So this is me helping you to get some knowledge too, so you'll feel empowered to do these taxes. Robin says, I didn't get it, but I'm fine, thank you. Okay, great. I'm glad you're fine. I'll see what happened to that email, or check your junk mail. I mean, it wasn't like a long email. It just said, hey, what's up? How you doing, Robin? All right. So, but I'm not a tax professional. Okay. Honestly, I'm giving you the experience that I have from doing my own taxes and from certifying to do taxes 15 years ago. All right. And tax codes change, etc. I advise you to get you a tax consultant. Why try to do your own taxes? Really, find somebody who that's their jam, that's the thing they do, that's what they're good at, and have them do it. As a matter of fact, I am bringing on this week someone who I think is going to be very important to the Auto Dealer Business School. I'm partnering with a woman who has a company, and they do taxes as well and accounting. So if that's something you're interested in, pretty soon I'll introduce her and what her tax service will be like, but you'll get a chance to meet her this week for some of her other services. Okay. So I just had to get that out the way so that you'll know that this is really just based on my experience. But so far, knock on wood, everything has turned out okay. All right. The other thing I want to say is this. I have an S Corp. So the information I'm giving is for S Corp filings and to help you get your stuff together for S Corp. I am not sure how it works for LLC, and I'm not sure how it works for C Corp. So if anyone here who has worked with me, who has coached or trained with me, like Eric, I know you have an S Corp as well, because that's what I preach, is to get you an S Corp. So this is going to be S Corp information. The other thing I want to say up front is next week, I am holding a class that I'm calling Auto Dealer Files Audit. Okay. This is not a free class, but it is a class that is going to get you some dedicated time to implement what you're going to learn today, and also other things that we're going to do to go through your taxes. So basically in this class, we're going to pull together everything you need to get your taxes done, and to also run your profit and loss statements, and to also get all your deal jackets in compliance. Okay. So if that's something you're interested in, then email me, and you can email me at hello@autodealerbschool.com for that class. Why I think that class is important is because nobody likes to do paperwork. We do not prioritize getting paperwork done because it is the least fun in the business. Okay. If it's between going to the auction, selling a car, or doing paperwork, I'm going to go to the auction or sell the car. I'm not going to do the paperwork. Right. So this is dedicated time with a mentor to do the paperwork and to have it done, and to be confident it's done, and to be confident that you have what's needed for an inspection and you have what's needed for taxes, because they all go hand in hand. All right, so let's get these taxes done. So how I want to start this is there are going to be some numbers you need. Okay. Your taxes are all about numbers. So hopefully you have a pen. I think I might write these down somewhere later so you can have it. But the first thing you're going to need is invoices from all your purchases. Okay. You're going to need to know how much all of your inventory has cost one purchase at a time. So if you have purchased all your inventory from the auction, oh, that's easy, because all you need to do is log on. They usually have some kind of my account listed there, and then you click on my account, and then you go to my purchases, and bam, you got all your purchases. Okay. So you're going to need the purchase amount plus the fee that the auction charges. All right. So you're going to need those numbers for all the cars you have sold. So we're talking about finishing 2018 taxes if you haven't already. So these are all the cars that you have purchased in 2018. Okay. You're going to want to know all your cars and how much they cost you. So that's the first number. The second number is all of your repair invoices. Okay. So you are supposed to get an invoice from your mechanic for all repairs. As far as I know, that's the requirement in a lot of the states. Like, I don't know for all 50, but that's the requirement to be in compliance with all of the states. Well, with the states I know, most of the states I know. You're going to need a repair invoice. So that's going to be for labor and then for parts. Hey, Cece. Okay. So you have to, so if you don't have that, this is the time to get that together. What you're going to do is you can either just contact your mechanic and ask that your mechanic gives you those invoices. Okay. Now that may or may not happen. The other thing you can do is you can write up the invoices yourself and have your mechanic sign it, which might get it done faster, because if your mechanic is busy and doesn't like to do paperwork either, you're not going to ever get it anyway. So you can write the invoice for each car. If you remember what you've done on each car, I pretty much kind of remember like what repairs were done on each car. So if you remember that, then you can write the invoices, have your mechanic sign it, do it like that. If that doesn't, so what if you're the mechanic? Okay. If you were the mechanic to do it, then how much did you charge yourself to do it, to do the repairs? And then you complete an invoice. Now that can get tricky, because now you have income as a mechanic, as well as you're reporting the repair as a write-off for your other business. So there's kind of two separate businesses. So that's something you'll have to decide. If you want to work through those details with me privately, then join the Auto Dealer Files Audit class. Okay. All right. So then first, invoices for all purchases. Second, repair invoices. Third number you'll need is what your parts cost. Okay. Now, your invoice from your mechanic may have the cost of the parts, but if you bought the parts and provided them to the mechanic, then more than likely not. So where did you get those parts from? Did you get them from Rock Auto? Well, you can, as far as I know, I've never done this myself, but you can pull a transaction history with Rock Auto to see what you purchased. Or if you have purchased from, like I have a commercial account at Advance, you can pull that transaction history from Advance. Okay. The other thing is, if you've purchased from some salvage yards, you'll have to just, figure out where their receipt is, or maybe contact the salvage yard, depending on how organized they are. Maybe they have a copy, etc. Okay. But you'll need to know the cost of the parts. All right. And then, so those are all the numbers for the cars. So any questions about the numbers for the cars? I want this to be interactive. I don't want it to be like, okay, I want to make sure you're getting this, because if you haven't gotten your taxes done, it's not as difficult as you think. And, no judgment. I get why you might not have done them yet, but let's get it done. So you have any questions about those numbers? Invoices from all purchases, repair invoices, and how much the parts cost for each car, okay? Because each, we have to go by each inventory, okay? Any questions? If you don't have any questions, if you're like, okay, got it, just put got it, so I'll know you got it, and then I'll move on to other things that you'll need, other numbers you'll need. And then also, who all hasn't filed their taxes yet? I already know that Eric is looking to do that soon. Cece, have you filed yet? And who else do I have watching? Hello, hello. All right, so I haven't gotten any comments just yet. I'm hoping you guys are all right. I'm gonna move on to what the next numbers are that you need. Okay, so now you have your numbers for your inventory. Next are business expenses overall. Okay, I got a question. Is cost of the car supposed to be smaller than the price of the sale? Ideally, yes. Ideally, yes. Your retail is usually higher than what you paid for the car. Okay. So did I answer that question right? Or am I understanding that question right? Okay. All right. Is the cost of the car. Okay. Let me know if I did that right. And I'm getting pop up. All right, now the comments are coming in. Oh, so you're feeling guilty. You paid more than what you sold the car for. Let's not do that too many times, right? All right, so now that we're good on what the numbers are for the cars, let's move on to business expenses overall. So number one is what have you bought in terms of supplies for your business overall? So this can be engine oil, you know, to put into cars, or coolant, as well as pens, ink, a printer. If you purchase a printer, any equipment you purchase, did you purchase a laptop, a computer, a desktop? Did you purchase a new file cabinet? Any of those things, any furniture, any supplies, anything like that to help you to do your job, okay? To help you to sell your cars. Whatever it is you purchase to help sell cars. Fuses, your code reader, okay? All the equipment you use, any screwdrivers, the screws for the license plates, let's talk about even temp tags, all of the supplies, okay? Though you have to get those numbers together, all right? And if you don't have the receipts right away, hey, Janita. FYI, Janita is the person I was talking about that I'm working with now, and we're gonna talk about taxes soon. So Janita, if you have anything to add right now, I'm so glad you're on, then just jump in there and add it, because I've already told them that I'm not the tax expert, but this is just my experience from filing taxes for my business. All right. So yes, any supplies that you have, if you don't have the receipts right now, like of course you need to have the receipts, right? But receipts, I get it. If you don't have the receipts right now, the most important thing to do is just to get the numbers so that you can file, all right? The only time, well, you know, if something goes down where they're like, I need you to prove this, then that's when you'll need the receipts, okay? So just get the numbers right now. We'll worry about your receipts later if you don't have the receipts, okay? So that's supplies for your business overall. Now let's talk. It says trying to reconnect. Can everybody still see me, see my video? Clothing, restaurants are expenses as well. So can you still hear me? Because it's saying trying to reconnect. Am I still on? Let me see. Am I still on? It says trying to reconnect. All right, you guys can still see me? Okay, great, and hear me. Okay, great. All right, so closed restaurants expenses. That's a gray area for me. I don't exactly know the rules around clothes and restaurants, just to be honest. What I do know and what I have done is this. If you've bought any clothing specifically to work on cars or anything like that, shirts to represent your company, those things I have typically written off before. For restaurants, I've written off like having a business lunch, but you can only write off the half. It's been my experience is you can only write off half. You can only write off the person you're paying for, but not yourself, because you still need to eat, right? Okay, great. You can hear me and see me. Okay, so that's something that I would say ask your tax advisor for the specifics about clothing and restaurants, Eric, just to be honest. That's something I just kind of do what I do and hope that all is well. Okay, but I am not very confident to tell you, yes, write clothes. This is how you write clothes off. This is how you write restaurants off. But I am confident about the other things like the expenses. So after you get the numbers for the supplies, okay, you got it. For your business, all the things that you've used and needed to sell these awesome vehicles, then you want to get some other numbers together. What have you invested in your business to make it a better business? Like your coaching, for example, then get that together. Anybody who's ever worked with me, that money that you paid is tax deductible because that was education for your business. All right. So you want to get that number. Also, any auto dealer association dues. Okay. That is also part of this number. Any business association dues, any continuing education class you had to take, anything like that. Even your pre-licensing seminar, okay, any of that stuff, that all of that is part of the education write-off, okay? All right, so any questions about that part, any investments into your business? Any questions? Okay, and then while we're waiting for those questions, we're gonna go to your expenses, okay? You have operating expenses, you have a landline, we already know that, most of the states require that. Okay, so you have that, you have your building space, you have electricity, do you have gas? Do you pay the water? Do you pay the trash? Do you pay anything else? Okay, those are also things to include. What else is expenses wise? I would have to say transporting your vehicles. If you pay a transporter, if you Ubered there or Lyfted there, okay, that's part of the expenses. What about the apps we pay for like Black Book, etc.? Oh, yes, yes, yes. The apps you use, employees. I'm getting to employees. Yes, Eric, thank you for leading me there. So yes, any of your expenses. So your monthly expenses, your electric, your landline. Do you have internet at your office? Do you have cable at your office? All of that stuff. Okay, you want to get those numbers together. You also want to get together your insurance and your bond if you paid the bond within that year. And this, of course, goes for all of your startup costs, like all of the startup costs that you use. If that was last year, all of the startup costs that you spent, that you paid for, then it's get those numbers together. So what's that? Your background check, that's your pre-licensing seminar or whatever auto dealer trainer course they required. That's your insurance, your bond, that's the dealer tag, that expense, that's incorporation fees, okay? All of those fees. So you get all those numbers together, everything you spent for your license, all right? And then here we come to employees. Next is how much did you pay yourself, all right? Now, this is important for all of the CEO business owners because your business taxes, you separate, you know, we all should separate our business income from our personal income. So you should be paying yourself an income. All right. So this is how much did you pay yourself? How much did you pay anyone else? Okay. How much did you pay your mechanic? Well, those are the invoices. So only if your mechanic is an employee, does it fall into the employees section. Okay. Am I being clear? Because I feel like I'm giving a lot of information. And Corey says, please save this live because it is a lot of information. I know. But Corey, I am doing an auto dealer files audit class where we're going to go through this privately and extensively. If you want more information about that, then just email me, hello@autodealerbschool.com. Okay. If this is like, man, I need to get this together, then work with me to get it together. All right. So everything that you've paid someone, like you've given a W-2 at the end of the year. Okay. Is what I'm talking about. Meaning you've paid them hourly wages, meaning you've told them exactly what to do for your business. Okay. Meaning they're employees for you. Okay. Versus someone who is versus someone who's a contractor. Like if your mechanic gave you invoices, then your mechanic is a contractor. All right. And you pay, and they are skilled and they have their own tools, and you pay them what they tell you to pay them. Eric says, sign me up for the class. Okay, Eric. Eric is like, I got to get this done. Eric, okay, so that's how much you spent in employees. How much did you pay yourself, pay anyone else? All right, so after you get those numbers together, all right, the numbers, just to go over it again, are your invoices. So you need to get your inventory. How much did your inventory cost you? You need to get that number. Okay, so that's the invoices. That's the repair invoices, and that's the parts. All right, because you already know how much you sold it for. So you need to get the numbers of how much your inventory cost you. Then you need to get the number of how much are the supplies for your business? Like how much do you spend just supplies in your business? Equipment, ink, you know, tools, any of that stuff, okay? You need to get those together. Then it's the education piece. What have you spent to enhance your learning, enhance your business, your education, coaching, business association memberships, any kind of business memberships, okay? Then there are your expenses. Health care is under here too, if anyone is providing themselves, if it's paying into like a healthcare program, like paying their benefits, okay? Your expenses, your electricity, your rent, your gas if you pay gas, your water if you pay water, your security, that monthly, anything that is monthly expense, internet. Okay, then we're gonna move to, yeah, your insurance, if that's monthly. Your bond, of course, is not monthly, but it is an expense. And then everything you spent for your license, any startup fees, okay, that also is included. And then anything that you paid anyone, including yourself. You're gonna get all those numbers together, and now it's time to put them in the form. Now, the best way, if you're gonna insist on doing your taxes yourself, okay, if you're like, I got this, I can do this myself, what I would say is at the very least, pay for one of those e-file kind of programs, like efile.com is one, TurboTax. Pay for something like that that's gonna walk you through the steps to make sure that you got all the information in there. Okay, and to ask you the questions that you need to answer to make sure it's good. At the very least, pay for that. What you pay for that service is tax deductible. So even if you get a tax preparer, you can write that fee off next year because you paid someone to help you prepare your taxes. So I'm just saying this because I want to get you in the habit of paying professionals to do what professionals do. That's what CEOs do. We pay professionals to do what they do, and we do what we do. We run the revenue in our business, and we grow the business and we open a new business. We don't do all the other stuff. Okay. So if you're going to do that, at least if you're not going to hire a tax consultant, at least get one of those softwares. All right. So now you're going through the software. If you hire a tax consultant, they're still going to need all of these numbers. They can't make up numbers for you. They're still using the information that you're giving them. Okay. And then once you set this up, you'll have this forever. Like, this is how, these are the numbers you'll provide every year. This is how you'll go through getting your numbers together for your taxes. So you're going to go through the software. You're going to answer the questions. If you are S Corp, like I said, I'm not sure how it goes for those who are not S Corp, but if you are S Corp, then you have a certain form to file. And why is that form the name of it? So it's a K1. It's how you're going to claim income from your business. Okay, it's a K1 form. I want to say when you go through the software, it'll complete a schedule to put your business income, and you're done, really. Like, it's not, after you add up the numbers, that's the work, and then you're done, and then you file all your other stuff as normal. Are you filing married or separately from your partner? Are you head of household? Are you, you go through all of that for your regular taxes, and then you just input your business information, your business numbers on that one line, and then you're done. I am trying to make it sound as easy as possible, but I don't want you to, think it's difficult, because it's not. Then you're done. I think, do I have any questions before I go on to my next thought? Because I was about to go, I think, and then go somewhere else. Any questions about completing your taxes as S Corp? All right, let's see. Okay, Joe says thumbs up. Any questions about it at all? Because oversimplify it, and then you don't feel like you really got the goods, like, because you can take what I'm giving you here free and get it done. But like I said, if you want to really go through it with me, then we will have a class next week. Okay, and I'll put the information here in the group, and if I miss you, then just send me an email. Okay. All right, so I was going to go on to another thought. One of the reasons why I did hesitate my first couple of years of getting my taxes done, full disclosure, okay? Full disclosure. I was afraid that I would owe a lot of money. And I was afraid that I would get audited. And I was afraid that, they would freeze assets and all this stuff, because you hear these horror stories of what they do about taxes. So I delayed it, okay? But when I finally did it, because my big fear was I would owe a lot of money, right? Especially doing it myself, because I don't know all the tricks. I don't even really know if I'm writing off all the stuff I'm supposed to write off, because there are some other things that I don't write off consistently that I know you can, like mileage to the auction, but there are certain rules, like, there's certain rules, and I don't know all the rules from year to year. So sometimes I write off my mileage, sometimes I don't. Okay, so just full disclosure. But when I actually did my taxes, making $100,000 a year for my business, I ended up paying, I want to say maybe $4,000 in taxes. Okay, $4,000 in taxes. Here I was thinking that if I made $100,000, I would owe them 10, 20, 30,000. Okay, and I was scared, because I'm like, it's $100,000. Like, 100,000 is not that much when you got to pay somebody 20. That's a lot out of 100,000. So I was scared. I was like, I'm just not gonna file. I just won't know. But then once I did, I realized that I ended up paying $4,000. And I said to myself, if I just got to pay $4,000 to make $100,000, I'm going to do that. Okay. Yes. because you need your tax. This is the other thing I want to impart on you. I want to warn you against. If your business is always taking a loss and you're never making any income from your business, one, eventually that's going to be a red flag to the IRS too, and they're going to tag it as just a hobby. But two, how are you going to qualify for a new home? How are you going to qualify for a new car? How are you going to upgrade your life if your financial blueprint says you're broke? If your taxes say you're broke every year, how are you going to get the things that you are in this business to get? Okay, you need to make money, and you need to tell people you make money, like the IRS. Yes, I make $100,000, and okay, you're gonna charge me $4,000? No problem. Okay, Eric says 1K to 4K in tax sold. Yes. So were you hesitant too because you were like, how much am I gonna owe? Joe, so you recommend a tax specialist? Yes, get you a tax specialist. I want to say my very first tax specialist might have been $200, $250 maybe. Like, that's nothing. That's what, 1/10 of what I make on a car? On one car, it's not even a whole car sale, the whole profit. It's just like a tenth of it. So yes, get you a tax specialist. Be the CEO you want to be. You got somebody handling your taxes. Yes, that's how you do. You give them the numbers. You have a system in place. So what we're going to also work on in this class is not just getting the numbers together, but also getting the system in place so that you have all the numbers forever and always. Like they just automatically populate and fall into place so that you work, okay? But the other thing is, if you don't want to do this work, then you just hire a bookkeeper throughout the year as well. Or you can hire a bookkeeping software. So these are things that we'll talk about in the class because this can be long. Like that's why I have a class for it, to get you all the way right on these taxes, okay? Because you need to be rich and you need to tell people you're rich, especially if you're in this business and you're making money. You need to tell them, look, I make money. And this is how much money I make, and I will gladly pay my little tax fee for the opportunity to make this much money. All right, so any questions? Any questions? Was this good? Was this helpful? Was this clarifying? Did this motivate you to get your taxes done? Did this eliminate fears? Did this eliminate blocks for you in the area of taxes? Because that's what I really want to do. I want to empower you to get these taxes done so that you're not secretly stressed, because not having it done, you know, you might not be thinking about it every day, but every once in a while when it comes up, you're like, dang, I still don't have that done. Okay, so no need to be stressed. No need to be stressed. Was this helpful? Let me know. And again, for information on the auto dealer files audit class, if you want to be in it next week, email me at hello@autodealerbschool.com. And then sometimes next month, I'm going to bring on a tax specialist, and she is going to talk to you about all the other stuff I missed because I'm not a tax specialist. Did you make 100K on your business made 100K? I'm not sure. Okay, so did I pay myself 100K? Not quite. I paid myself like 71,000 or something like that with after all of the expenses. Did that answer your question, Eric? Joe, disclaimer, I am one of the people that was worried about doing my tax. Joe, you are not the only one, okay? I am not judging you, okay? So let's just get it done. We are not gonna be stressed anymore about these taxes. We're gonna feel like we are on top of our business because having these taxes done is part of that. So any other questions? Any other questions? I want to go back to the, did you make 100K or did your business make 100K? So, you know, while you're out there doing your thing, you are making money, but then once you add up all your expenses, you're like, oh, well, I actually paid this much. So I've had people say to me, well, $10,000 a month is more than $100,000 a year. And I'm like, yeah, because you're going to have expenses. So this year I had more expenses than last year I had more expenses than I expected. So it was less than, like, my take home was less than I really wanted it to be, but that's okay, because then it let me know what I got to do this year. Yes, just wasn't sure if the owner employee makes the money for the business or the business made the money. So as an S Corp, you have the option to, your income passes through to you. So you can do that. C Corp, your business makes the money and you can, you know, pay yourself an amount, but then your business is taxed. So C Corp is double taxation. That's what they mean by double taxation, because then your business is taxed on how much it made, and then also you're taxed on how much you made. Okay. So I don't want to talk too much about that because I don't have too many specifics, because again, this is not my thing, but that's my limited knowledge, and why I recommend S Corp is because C Corp has that double taxation. And one of the reasons, and then there are reasons why I don't recommend LLC, but I know I have a lot of people who are LLC, but I'm going to let the tax consultant talk about that, because when I talked to her about it, she explained it in a much more eloquent way about why not to do it. And I was like, okay, that makes a lot more sense. This is totally your thing. Okay. So yeah, that's more of like, tax. Those are like the tax specifics. Okay, Eric says, got it. All right, CEOs, hopefully this was helpful. Email me to get the auto dealer files audit class, where we're going to go through getting your inventory management together. We're going to get your taxes together, and we're going to get your deal jackets together for any inspection visit, so that all that stuff goes smoothly and you're calm within, because you know that if somebody calls out your business, that you got everything you need to prove that you are doing it right. Okay, so I look forward to that class with you next week, and let me know what you want to talk about on Mentoring Monday next time. And if you have any comments that come up later, be sure to put them here, because I want, no question is dumb. Please ask me your questions. I'm here to answer whatever it is you need, to get whatever it is you need. And if I don't have the answer, I will try to get someone who does. Okay. No need for us to suffer in silence without having the information. All right. Okay. As always, I appreciate that you guys, you know, are appreciating what I'm giving here. I've been getting a lot of messages lately about, man, thanks. This has been great. Like, it just really helps me to feel more valuable in this world. So I appreciate your appreciation. All right, Eric, I'll talk to you soon, and I'll see everyone else soon. Email me about the class next week, and I'll see you next Monday. Oh, I'll see you, I think tomorrow or Wednesday. I'm going to introduce the credit specialist. Okay. Yes. For my people who need some improvement on their credit, no judgment, but get your credit right so you can be the versatile CEO you need to be. Okay. I'll be back this week to introduce her. All right, y'all. Have a great day. Talk to you soon. Bye.